Hi, my name's Benji and welcome to Dice vs Cards. Today we're looking at Shards of Infinity, designed by Gary Aranth and Justin Gary and published by Stoneblade Entertainment and Ultra Pro Entertainment. What we have here is a 2 to 4 player deck building game where you play as one of 4 factions looking to collect and harness the power of Infinity Shards in order to reassemble the all-powerful Infinity Engine. Now, what is a deck building game? Well, each player is going to start with the same 10 card deck, and as you play through the game you're going to recruit champions and allies that help you in your cause, and in so doing upgrading the power of your deck as you go. So let's see how this game plays and whether this could be the next one for you. So the object of the game is for you to be the last player standing and for all your opponent's character's health to be reduced to 0. Each player is going to start with the same 10 card deck, of which you'll have 7 crystals which are going to be generating gems, 1 blaster that will generate 1 power, and 2 upgradable cards in the form of the Shard Reactor and the Infinity Shard. To set up the game, each player is then going to draw 5 cards from their deck. Here we've drawn 3 crystals, 1 blaster and an Infinity Shard. When it comes to our turn, we're going to use these cards to carry out a number of actions. So each turn is broken down into 3 phases. The first of which is the play phase, and this is where you're going to be carrying out the bulk of your actions. So you'll see here these 3 crystals are generating 3 gems, and gems are the resource you need to recruit champions and allies from this centre row. You'll see in the top right hand corner of each of these cards is their resource cost. So let's just say we spend 2 of the 3 gems we have here to buy this nil assassin, and that is immediately placed in our discard pile for use on a future turn. There are always 6 cards in this centre row, so we then need to draw the top card from the centre deck to bring that back up to 6. Also, cards like this blaster here that generate 1 power, and power effectively translates into damage. In this phase you're going to be dealing damage to opponent's champions. Now, champions we haven't spoke about yet, but here this Optio Crusher, when you play on your turn, champions differ in that they stay on the battlefield until you deal damage equal to their health. Now, I've left 1 gem here ready to spend because each character on their turn can use the focus ability a maximum of once to trade in 1 gem for 1 level of mastery, moving this dial at the bottom up by 1. Now, mastery synergises with other cards like this Infinity Shard. You'll see here the Infinity Shard, when it starts, we're going to generate you 2 power. However, if you reach 10 mastery, it's actually going to gain you 3 power instead. 20 mastery will get you 5 power. And if you ever get to 30 mastery, then you gain infinite damage, which effectively acts as a win condition. There are cards where you can gain health and also gain mastery outside of the focus ability. There are also cards like these fast play mercenaries with a red border around them that allow you to play them instantly and gain their effects instead of placing them in your discard pile for use on future turns. You'll also note that each champion and ally card has a coloured background to denote their faction. Now, each faction does synergise with other cards from its faction. For example, this Shardwood Guardian has the Unity keyword. It's going to gain an extra special ability if you've already played another green Undergrowth card this turn. Play then proceeds to the attack phase. Now, this is where you're going to use any unresolved power and do damage to your opponent's health. So let's just say we had 3 power left. That's going to do 3 damage to our opponent, unless our opponent has a card in hand with this shield icon that can be seen on this Corvus Legionnaire. That 2 shield is actually going to mitigate 2 of that damage, So if you were to reveal that card to your opponent, only one of the 3 damage would get through. Play then proceeds to the end phase, which is kind of like a clean-up phase. This is where you're going to discard the cards that you used that turn, and you're going to draw 5 more cards. That then ends your turn and play passes round to your left. If at any time you need to draw cards but there are no cards left in your deck, you simply shuffle your discard pile and let that constitute your new deck. Play then proceeds like that until each opponent's health has been reduced to 0 and a victor is determined. So that's how it plays. Let's see what I thought of it. So Shards of Infinity does have quite focused gameplay mechanics, and because you can take pretty much any action you want in any order you want, turns are over quite quickly and it's not long before it's your go again. Everything's quite clear and well presented on the cards, and there's enough variety in choice on your turn to keep things interesting. Whether you're going to try and get as many gems as you can to recruit champions and allies from the centre row, or whether you want to increase your mastery in shards to try and upgrade the cards you already have. But you can also be fast playing those mercenaries to get that last amount of burn damage into your opponent. The 4 factions do have their own strengths, different strengths, however that's not readily apparent from the rules or in those first couple of playthroughs. In terms of the look and feel and theme of the game, component quality is good if not spectacular, and the artwork is a little bit hit and miss for me, however that is obviously quite subjective. The theme is there. You're looking as each faction to rebuild that infinity engine and harness the power of those shards. However, because of the fast-paced nature of the game, it is difficult for that theme to shine through. So who is this game for? Well, it's light to medium weight because it's really easy to get this game to the table, and each of the actions you can do in any order, so there's no need to remember any complicated timing sequences. Everything is well presented and clear on the cards, so there's going to be very little need to refer back to the rulebook. So you might want to consider this game if you enjoyed Star Realms or its younger sibling Hero Realms, both published by White Wizard Games. So what did I like about the game? Well, outside of the core deck building mechanics, there's quite a few fresh ideas within Shards of Infinity, such as being able to upgrade the cards in your deck by increasing your mastery of shards, or interacting on your opponent's turn by mitigating some of the damage they do to you by revealing those shield cards. One thing I really liked were these fast play mercenary mechanics. So you are able to increase the potency on your current turn, but obviously sacrificing the ability for you to upgrade your deck. In terms of what I didn't like, what you'll find is that because of the fast-paced nature of the game, it does tend to devolve into, oh, okay, I'm getting 3 gems, I'm buying this guy, I'm doing 6 damage to you, 2 damage to that champion, instead of articulating, each card what it does. So I could be saying, yeah, I'm doing 5 damage to you with this Nil Assassin, and then I'm going to draw a card from this Thorn Zealot, but it's also going to allow me to destroy your enemy champion because I played this Furrowing Elemental earlier on in my turn. So you really do need to work hard to engross yourself as players into the game. A couple of suggestions, not really in the category of what I don't like, but a couple of suggestions I really would like to have seen within the rules, preferably, the strengths of each of these factions. So you as a player can decide, well, actually I want to focus my energy on doing direct damage to you, or I want to focus on synergizing with other cards in my deck. It would have been nice to have seen each faction's leader or avatar to have its own special ability as well, other than the focus ability. But again, these are just suggestions that I would have thought would have made the game better. So with all that being said, Dice vs Cards are going to give a final score of 7 out of 10. Because although this is a really good game, I feel like there are some missed opportunities here that could have elevated it right to the top of the player versus player deck building genre. So that's it for me. I'll see you next time.